What's going on there, YouTube? And welcome back to another comic book video. This is the channel where we sit down and cover different comic book stories from different comic book companies. Today, we're going to jump back over to Marvel Comics and continue our coverage over the Ultimate Marvel Universe. And we pick up with All New Ultimates Volume 1, but the second half to Volume 1 for All New Ultimates. Now, this storyline right here is very important. Yes, there are some strange moments and some lazy moments, but this is also the storyline where another young hero has to learn about dealing with the death of a loved one at a very early age of their hero life. And honestly, it makes the story a whole lot better. So if you like today's comic book video, please hit that like button down below and also subscribe to the channel for more content to come in the near future. Also, any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But I do hope you enjoy today's video. Now we pick up with Terry Surek. Remember, he was the cop that was killed in our last All New Ultimates video. Well, he was killed by sticks, but apparently he is no longer dead, and we see him wandering out in the streets, confused on how he is alive again. But before we can explore any more of that, he is hit by a truck and sent flying into the sewers. We have to switch over to the girls of the All New Ultimates, which is Kitty Pryde, Dagger, Spider-Woman, who is now going by the name Black Widow, and finally Bombshell. They are having a fun time at the beach, and let me tell you something about this point of the story. All New Ultimates number 4 is really more of the girls hanging out at the beach while small things happen here and there to move the plot forward. We will cover those plot points, but this is a girls' days out at the beach, and we will see them build a closer bond with one another. When we get to that point, this beach stuff actually comes somewhat important. Then the book makes you wonder what the boys of the team could be up to while the girls are at the beach. Well, we pick up with Cloak. We see him hanging out at the church that the All New Ultimates are currently using as their base as well. While Cloak is there, you have some teenagers basically trespassing, and you have Cloak use his powers to throw the teenagers out of the church. For some reason, it makes this random guy who owns a shop across the street get upset that Cloak did that and wants to fight against Cloak. While Cloak is doing that, we see Miles Morales swinging around town with his best friend Genki, and we see that Miles Morales is worried about the fact that he was kissed by Diamondback. Diamondback, who is one of the top members of the Serpent Squirrels. Now, he is not worried about being kissed because she is a bad guy. No, he is worried because to him, it was him cheating on his girlfriend, Kate Bishop, who we have been seeing in our Miles Morales, the Ultimate Spider-Man videos we have been doing for a while. So these last few moments explain what the two boys of the team are currently doing while the girls are at the beach. Getting back to the girls at the beach, we see the girls are starting to talk about their relationships, the good and the bad that comes out of them. Except then it is Spider-Woman's turn, who is Jessica Drew. She explains that she doesn't know how to have one and what she likes because she is the clone of Peter Parker. This is huge because not a lot of people knew that except maybe some people from the last Ultimates team, and of course both of the Spider-Men. So she explains that when it comes to her, she thinks she likes girls because she is the clone of Peter Parker, that everything he likes is kind of embedded in her. This moment is cut short when you have Bombshell have to go to visit her boyfriend Poe. I hope I pronounced his name correctly. We met Poe in our last video, and I thought they were going to break up, but apparently they are still dating. Well, they are, but not that much longer. The reason why I say that is because someone ends up killing Poe in his own apartment. We are going to find out who killed him, but of course, you know this is going to be hard for Bombshell. While Poe was being killed, all of the gangs minus Serpent Skulls Serpent Scrolls, begins to have some big gang war across the city. Of course, this gang war was started by the Serpent Scrolls. So this is the book letting us know that things are starting to get bad in the city for the all-new Ultimate. Getting back to the death of Poe, he is found by Bombshell, and like I said, this was going to be hard for her, except before she is able to mourn the death of her boyfriend Poe, that is when we learn that the Serpent Scrolls were the ones who basically killed Poe. Also, this is the moment we learn about the powers of Diamondback, that she is able to use some kind of dust that lets her control people that are hit with the dust. With that happening, the dust lets her control Bombshell, and the reason why is that she is going to use Bombshell to find the base of the all-new Ultimates. This is Serpent Scroll getting rid of the all-new Ultimates since the Ultimates blew up one of their drug warehouses. Getting back to the gang war that is happening all over the city, we see that the Ultimates have arrived to help take care of the problem. Now, Cloak and Dagger are not there. They are at the church to have some alone time, and of course, we all know where Bombshell is at the moment. This is going to be the part of the book where the Ultimates realize that the Serpent Scrolls must be the reason for all of the other gangs in the city to go out in the city crazy. Now, with Cloak and Dagger, they are back at their base, which is the old church they have been staying in. Now, the reason why they are here is to show that they want some alone time. So while you have the rest of the team out there in the city trying to stop some huge gang war, these two are having some alone time, and we see that when the two of them come together to kiss, their powers for some reason start some kind of strange reaction and begin some kind of light show in the church. To get a quick update with Bombshell, we see that Diamondback is using her powers to make Bombshell take money out of her bank account to give over to Diamondback. After that, we see Diamondback tell Bombshell to take them to the base of the all-new Ultimates. Getting back to the heroes who are trying to stop the gang war, we see the gang war is all done now, but then the heroes are confronted by Detective Bridget O'Reilly. Now, she was the partner of the detective that died in our last video, whose name was Terry, and we know that he is alive again. She doesn't know that, but she thanks the heroes for helping to stop the gang war, except she doesn't like the heroes because she blames the heroes for the death of her partner. She is hoping that the Serpent Scrolls and the heroes kill each other. The heroes leave because someone is calling them back to their base. After the heroes leave, Bridget gets word on where the heroes have been hiding at, which is the church. Once the heroes are back at their base, they are wondering which of them made the call. Of course, everyone knows it wasn't them, but then they realize that Bombshell is not there. Before they all agree to investigate where Bombshell is at, that is when they are attacked by Serpent Scroll gang members. This is the moment we see the leader of the Scrolls, which again, it is Crossbones, the ultimate Marvel version of Crossbones. And his plan is to get rid of the heroes as a way to get payback for what they did to that drug warehouse. To make things even worse, that is when we see that Detective Bridget calls the rest of her team to join her because remember, she knows where the heroes are staying at, except her team was out on their own and close to catching the Scourge, the guy who was going around killing people like he is the Punisher, except also hoping the world finds out about him to get his popularity up. Getting back to the fight, we see that the fight is getting very intense. It is the heroes versus the Serpent Scrolls, except the heroes are down one member since Bombshell is still under control by Diamondback. So Diamondback makes Bombshell use her powers to blow up everything in the church, mainly the heroes, but hoping to bury the heroes in the church. Now, with the death of Poe, Bombshell's boyfriend, Diamondback keeps talking about it, and it was enough to give Bombshell the chance to break out of the control of Diamondback, and then decides that she is going to kill every single member of the Skrulls for what they did to Poe. Now, this is someone who is full of rage, which makes sense since they were the ones who killed Poe. Except for Bombshell, you have to remember she went through so much over the years. You have to remember that her mother and her were super villains, but only because her mom kind of forced her to be a bad guy. Then her mom went to jail and she was given a second chance of life, joins the Ultimates thinking that everything is going to be great for her now, only to be a hero that has to go through the process of someone she loves dying. So yes, she is going crazy and blowing up everything in the church, but it makes sense. Now, the next 2 pages show us that the police have arrived at the scene, and which adds more people to the mix that is going to cause some more problems in this big battle. To make things even worse, well, you also have the Scourge appear as well with a turret gun ready to go inside, gun blazing, showing us that it's about to be one big party. So with that being said, we see that the next few pages show us the war, show us the big battle, as everyone is fighting for a different reason. But of course, it is just pure chaos in the building. Not one side is really winning. Well, maybe for the Scourge, for himself, he is winning since he is going around killing people just like he wanted to do in the first place. Bombshell is still going crazy. The police really think they can go there and stop everything so they can arrest people, which is honestly pretty funny to watch them try. But there is a moment where you have Crossbones about to kill off Miles Morales with a knife. But of course, that doesn't happen, only because Miles Morales is saved by the Scourge, who is again there to kill members of the Serpent Skrulls. After Scourge stabs Crossbones, Crossbones walks away, and Spider-Man is able to tie up Scourge in webs to hand him over. The book ends with everyone kind of going their separate ways. Some of the people, of course, arrested by the police, while the Ultimates leave to lick their wounds. They also realize that they have now lost their new base that they barely got only a few books ago, leaving us wondering what is going to happen now with the all-new Ultimates in Volume 2, which of course we are going to cover in the next video. This was an interesting storyline, to be more exact. But this is the end of today's video, so please hit the like button down below and also subscribe to the channel for more content to come in the near future. Also, any suggestions on books I should read? Well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But I do hope you enjoyed today's video.